Hello everyone. Today in this video lecture we will discuss about the chapter employment, that is 7th chapter of unit 3rd of the NCERT book Indian Economic Development for class 12th for the session 2020-21 of CBSE board. Today under this topic, first of all we will discuss about the learning outcomes of the book. These are some learning outcomes. The learners will understand the basic concept of economic activity, worker, workforce, and unemployment. This is the first basic learning outcome. Second, the nature of participation of men and women in various economic activities in various sectors. Third one, the nature and extent of unemployment. And the last is the learner can assess the initiatives taken by the government in generating employment opportunities in various sectors and regions. These are some basic learning outcomes of this chapter. After beginning of the chapter, we should have a mind map in front of us. Some basic concepts, introduction of the chapter, worker and employment, then participation of people in employment, self-employed and hire worker, employment in firms, factories and offices, then growth and changing structure of employment, and next informalization of Indian workforce, then unemployment, thereafter government and employment generation, and the last one is conclusion. These are some basic concepts we will discuss in this chapter. Let's start with introduction. In introduction we will discuss about different types or varieties of works: work from home, factory worker, why do people work, how do people earn living, and importance of the work. These some basic concept we will discuss in introduction. Let's start. People do a variety of works, like some work on farm, some on in factories, some in banks, shops, and other many workplaces. Yet a few other workers work from home, that is work at home. Work at home includes not only traditional work like weaving, lace making, or variety of handicrafts, but also modern jobs like programming, work in the IT industry. These also included in work at home. Earlier, factory worker means working in factories located in cities, where now whereas now technology has enabled people to produce those factory based goods at home in villages. At this time we can see everywhere in Indian economy and worldwide economy, everyone is trying to work from home due to worldwide pandemic, that is corona. And due to corona, every country or every state following lockdown, and this lockdown try to work from home. Now why do people work? Work plays an important role in our life as individual and as member of society. In both cases, work plays very important role. Earning a living. Some people get or have money in an inheritance it, not working for it. This does not satisfy anybody. Being employed in work give us a sense of self-worth and enable us to relate ourselves meaningfully with others. Every working person in is actively contributing to national income and hence the
By
development of
engaging
country.
in
Various economic activities, that is the real meaning of earning living. We do not work only for ourselves. We also have a sense of accomplishment when we work to meet the requirement of those who are dependent on us. Having recognized the importance of work, Mahatma Gandhi insisted upon education and training through a variety of works including crafts. Studying about working population, that gives us insight into the quality and nature of employment in our country and helps in understanding and planning our human resources. It also helps us to analyze the contribution made by different industries and sectors toward national income. It also helps us to address many social issues such as exploitation of marginalized section of the society, child labor, etc. Now, next topic comes workers and employment. In this topic, we will discuss who is a worker, what is employment, how these terms are related with GDP and GNP, what is net earnings, it is who, not whose, WHO, who. First of all, we should discuss who is a worker. When a farmer works on field, he or she produces food grain and raw material for industries. In industries, we see that cotton became cloth in textile mills and in power looms. Lorries transport goods from one place to another. We know that the total money value of all such goods and services produced in a country in a year is called its gross domestic product for that year, that is GDP. When we also consider that we pay for our imports and get from our exports, you find that there is a net earning. Net earning through exports if we deduct the value of imports for that country, which may be positive, negative, or zero. If you have export more in value term than imported goods, the net earning will be positive, or if imports exceeds export in value term, it will be negative, or if exports and imports were of the same value, it will be zero. When we add these earnings plus or minus from foreign transactions, what we get, that is called the country's gross national product for that year. It means that will be GNP of that year. Those activities which contribute to the gross national products are called economic activities. All those who are engaged in economic activities in whatever capacity, high or low, are worker. In this topic, we will discuss about worker. So who are worker or who is a worker? All those who are engaged in economic activities in whatever capacity, high or low, are worker. Even if some of them temporarily abstain from work due to illness, injury, or other physical disabilities, bad weather, festival, social or religious functions, they are also workers. Workers also include all those who help the main worker in these activities. It means worker has a large definition or extensive definition. We generally think of only those who are paid by an employer for their work as worker. This is not so. Those who are self-employed are also workers. So we can say that worker has a wide definition. Then what is the nature of employment in India? The nature of employment in India is multifaceted. Some get employment through the year, some other get employed for only a few months or in a year. Many workers do not get fair wages for their work. While estimating the number of workers, all those who are engaged in economic activities are included as employed. You might be interested in knowing the number of people actively engaged in various economic activities. We can see that during 2011-12, India has about a 473 million strong workforce. Since majority of our people reside in rural areas, the proportion of workforce residing therefore in rural areas, that is very high. The rural workers contribute about 3/4 of this 473 million. Men from majority of workers in India, about 70% of the workforce are men and the rest are women. Men and women included child labor in respective sexes. Women workers account for 1/3 of the rural workforce, whereas in urban areas they are just 1/5 of the workforce. Women carry out works like cooking, fetching water, and fuel wood, and participate in farm labor. They are not paid wage in cash or in the form of grains. At times, they are not paid at all. For this reason, these women are not categorized as workers. Some economists have argued that these women should also be called workers. What would you think? That will be matter. Now we can define worker and employment. A worker is an individual who is involved in some productive activities to earn a living. Employment and nature of employment in India. Employment refers to a situation when a person is able to earn his livelihood either through self-employed or by working as wage employment. In this topic, worker and employment, we discuss thoroughly each and every thing. Now next topic comes participation of people in employment. Participation of employment in Participation of people in employment, also known as work population ratio, that is an indicator which is used for analyzing the employment situation in the country. This ratio is useful in knowing the proportion of population that is actively contributing to the production of goods and services in country. If the ratio is higher, it means that the engagement of people is greater. If the ratio for a country is medium or low, it means that a very high proportion of its population is not involved directly in economic activities. For participation ratio, we can use this formula, that is total workforce divided by total population multiplied by 100. You might have already studied in lower classes the meaning of the term population. Population is defined as the total number of people who resides in a particular locality at a particular point of time. If you want to know the worker population ratio for India, divide the total number of workers in India by the population in India and multiply it by 100. You will get the work population ratio for India. If you look at the table, it shows the different levels of participation of people in economic activities. For every 100%, about 39, by rounding off 38.6, are workers in India. It means out of 100, 39 persons working. In urban areas, the proportion is about 36, whereas in rural areas, the ratio is about 40. Why is there such a difference? As we know that there are three basic reasons behind this difference. First, people in rural areas have limited resources to earn a higher income and participate more in the employment market. Second, many do not go to school, college, and other training institutes. Even if some go, they discontinue in the middle to join the workforce. Third, in rural areas, people cannot stay at home as their economic condition may not allow them to do so. In contrast, we can see that in urban areas, a considerable section is able to study in various educational institutions. Urban people have a variety of employment opportunities. They look for the appropriate job to suit their qualification and skills. That's why there is such differences in work population ratio in rural and urban areas. Compared to female, in other contrast, we can also analyze this table according to gender. We can compare, in comparison, the females, more males are found to be working. The difference in participation rate is very large in urban areas. This difference according to sex is greater in urban areas. In urban areas, we can see for every 100 urban females, only about 15 are engaged in some economic activities. Whereas in rural areas, for every 100 rural women, About 25 participate in the employment market. Why are women in general and urban women in particular not working? It is common to find that where men are able to earn high incomes, families discourage female members from taking up jobs. Going back to what has already been mentioned above, many activities for the household engaged in by women are not recognized as productive work. This narrow definition of work lead to non-recognition of women's work, and therefore to the underestimation of the number of women workers in the country. Think of the women actively engaged in many activities within the house and at family farms who are not paid for such work, as they certainly contribute to the maintenance of the household and farms. Do you think that their number should be added to the number of women workers? So we can see the basic differences according to work force, work population ratio as given in the table. Now we can measure some learning outcome attainments. First question, who is a worker? You can define who is a worker now. Second question, why do people work? And the third last is, what is